My friends, if you are ready, without, as they say, further ado, let us dive into this second arc of Lights, our Vampire Masquerade Chronicle. As always, a few poetic words before we begin. This one's called Premonition by Mary Lures. Once on my throat, the touch of soft cold fingers. I brushed a dream away, I chafed the cold. Whether a touch or dream, the coldness lingers. A cold throat stills the red tongue in its song, and cold lids hang heavy over warm eyes, and hands that are cold lie so still and long. And now with a hand cold upon my throat and black shadows pressing down the white lids, in my ears, in my mind sings the one note. Life, hideous when it is safe and sure, shines in the danger and the doom of death with leaves of flame trembling and warm and pure. It is 2024, 5 years after the last story arc of Lights. Cassie, having met Professor Holling in the underground of Edgewater Hospital, escaped after a tactical group sent by Aegis Corporate raided the lair. In the ensuing years, Edgewater Hospital was sold and turned into condos, though they remain largely uninhabited because people believe they are haunted. As for Cassie, well, she has found a measure of peace with ghosts from her past, and has now resumed taking night classes at the University of Chicago. After murdering Takemura and fleeing from Aegis, Teddy also fled Chicago, searching for herself and answers to her nature out on the road. The little bird has left her cage, though she still carries part of it with her. Having given in to the call of Set, Helena has forged ahead with the creation of a temple in Chicago. Aided by her sire, Bahari, and her young Gothic devotees, she is now close to opening the hallowed chambers. Vincent Giovanni, for his part, has come to Chicago from New York. Under orders from the higher-ups in the family, ever the good soldier, he does his job and minds the family business, even as he remains unsure of Primogenatius Giovanni's plan for the clan in the city. But the city never changes that much. It is still a brightly lit, darkly shiny beating heart, pumping life through its streets and coffee shops and bars and office towers and schools and homes. Life. Vitae. The kindred of the city rarely change either. Ancient, monolithic, atavistic, they cling to their rituals and habits and laws like rot to meat. But recent events have sent tremors through the social echelons of the Camarilla. The pandemic, which brought widespread infection, death, and martial law, was problematic for the kindred. After all, when your main source of food is sick, dying, and under lock and key, it makes slaking one's thirst problematic. And then, just a few nights ago, something stirred. Every kindred in the city felt it, felt something dark and ponderous and hungry stirring beneath their feet. Few know the depths of the darkness like the kindred. The nocturnal realm is theirs, after all, but for those who are now taking their first real steps into it, it remains a realm of hidden dangers and pleasures, a realm of transformation. A realm of paranoia and deceit. Somewhere south of Chicago, it's a gas station, a truck stop, in the middle of nowhere, brightly lit. This little island of light in the middle of a desert of sand and dust, but also darkness. Out from this darkness, padding silently through the night, comes a coyote. A single coyote. Moving slowly, approaching the truck stop. The coyote moves through the shadows of the semis underneath them, around them, hears what's going on inside of them, sees what's going on around them. continues moving towards the back door of the truck stop. Inside, anyone looking at the back door of the truck stop would see the door open, and through it would step a lone figure, a young woman. What would this young woman look like, Teddy?
A little disheveled, a little dirty, not her usual self. Her hair's grown a bit longer. She stopped dyeing it about 5 years ago. It's a natural color. There's some blood stains on her. Very minimal makeup. You can see way more of her freckles than you normally would. She's still pretty, just a little rough around the edges.
She moves through the store without really stopping or thinking about it too much, picks up a few things here and there, a flannel shirt, an old trucker's cap, pair of pants for sale, bar soap, a brush. She enters into the shower area for the truckers in the back. A little later, a few minutes later, she's stepping out of the shower, freshly scrubbed and washed. Teddy, you are standing at the mirror, combing out the last of the little knots in your hair. And the door opens. This woman comes in. She's probably in her early 40s, wearing very short Daisy Duke type shorts, jean shorts and cowboy boots, and a shirt that is tied off at the midriff. You can see spots of blood on the shirt, and when you look up and look at the woman, she has blood from a split lip and a black hair and that look of fear in your eyes that you've seen so often before. She walks in and sees you and stops. Looks you up and down. There's like a moment of recognition there. And she says in her old, rough, cigarette-hewn, whiskey-burnt voice, "Coyote?"
Teddy studies her for a minute. And then she's gonna give the woman a little nod.
She takes a step back, crosses herself. When she does, she sees some blood has gone on her hand. She looks back up at you. Blue Peterbilt, Star Transport.
Teddy's gonna gather her things, what's left, and toss them in a bag, throw it over her shoulder, and she's gonna head out to the parking lot.
Silently, you move through the shadows between the semis. You hear what goes on in them. You see what goes on around them. You find it easily enough. A big cab, no trailer right now. The little curtains are pulled. You can hear music playing inside. When you approach the truck, you can hear someone inside laughing, talking loudly. What would you like to do?
Do they sound alone?
Yeah, they're talking, but it seems like they're maybe on the phone or talking to somebody else because you don't hear any responses.
She's gonna take her hat off. Pretty yourself up for a minute. Give a little to the door.
Yeah, God damn it. You hear movement inside. The light comes on. Then the door opens. This tall, burly guy, probably in his early 50s, balding, he's got a Mack truck hat on, a couple of days worth of growth of beard on his face. He's got a chicken leg in his hand. I'm all right, honey. I already got a piece later. You're pretty cute, though. You know, next time I come by, I'll make sure to make some time for you.
She's gonna kind of prop her hand on the door and lean in. You sure you ain't got a minute for me, darling?
Well, you know, my age, it's kind of hard to go back to back like this, but you know what? Good-looking girl like you, I'm sure you could help me with that. And he takes a bite out of his chicken leg.
I think I could find my way around it.
Well, I hope you brought both hands, honey. Come on in.
She's gonna climb right up in there, and as she's doing so, she's popping claws.
Cops are going to be a little mystified tomorrow when they find a trucker in the back of his truck, ripped, clawed to shred. No sign of an animal nearby, though. Someone certainly will remember that they saw a coyote walking around the truck stop last night, but coyotes don't do this, do they? A little later, we see Teddy at the payphone talking into it. Teddy, you look up and you see a familiar big orange rig pulling into the truck stop almost as if by serendipity. The truck pulls up and parks. Door opens. See a familiar figure step out of it. It's Boz.
She's gonna hang up the phone after finishing our conversation, and she's gonna head on over. Hey, Boz.
Holy shit. As I live and breathe. You still alive, kid?
Yeah. Still alive.
You got a little bit there.
Oh. I had to take care of a little business. You know how it goes out here.
Yeah, you know, if you don't take care of business, business takes care of you.
Hey,
What's up,
Boz,
kid?
you don't happen to be heading back towards Chicago?
Well, as a matter of fact, I am. Just driving up from California. I got a whole load of I don't know what they got me hauling now. Gets to a point where all these fucking long hauls merge into one another. Thinking of heading back home.
I think it's time.
All right.
Hope you don't mind a little hair on your seats.
That's the least worst thing that's ever been on my seat, so it's all good. Hop in, make yourself comfortable. I'm gonna looks around, go for a quick refresher, and I'll be right with you. We'll haul ass right away.
Thanks, Boz.
Yeah, of course, kid. Hey, it's good to see you again.
You too.
City ain't changed much. Same as it ever was.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did you tell Lee you were coming back?
You know, I haven't talked to Lee in a long time.
Oh, maybe that's why he's been looking so piney.
Well, I hope he ain't too mad about it.
Hey, you made that grown boy cry.
Don't say that. That's terrible.
All right, hop in. We'll be out of here in no time. Couple hours, we'll be back home.
Sounds good. Thanks. She's gonna climb up in the truck.
Somewhere in Chicago, at an old post office, long abandoned, sold signs on it. Lights are low. Panel van pulls up in the back, backs up to the loading dock. Door opens. A tall, very lean man with a black beard and black hair, a man called Samir, walks out of the van. Closes and locks the doors, looks around, goes to the back, opens up the truck, pulls a body bag out from the back of the truck, dumps it over on his shoulder, closes the door, walks into the building using his keys and pressing numbers on a padlock. Door opens, he walks in, there's a gurney there. He dumps the body on top of it. Checks his suit, makes sure that it's still nice. Pushes the gurney down a long, darkened hallway. Eventually arrives at an elevator, presses the button. While he waits for the elevator, he pulls out his cell phone, scrolls through it a little bit, sees a meme, sends it to a friend of his, puts the phone away. Elevator doors open, pushes the gurney inside. Elevator goes down a couple floors. When the doors open, he walks into a hall that is awash with noise. There are work lights everywhere. There's banging, sawing. There's a little radio playing some music. People are talking. In the middle of it is somebody else we know who stands in the middle of this chaos and this construction like someone who's very much in charge. What would we see, Helena, as we stumble in on you?
Helena hasn't really changed much in the last 5 years. She still is dressed entirely in black, very appropriate for her name of goth mother to these goth kids working. Her hair is a little shorter perhaps, but nothing really has changed. She is long and thin, and if anything, there is a certain demand in her eyes.
The man pushes the gurney a few feet away from you and stops and waits for you to notice him.
A gift?
Well, if it's a gift, it's not a very nice one, Mother. He unzips it, and when he opens it, you see inside the body of what looks like a man, but the skin is white, very white, flaking off as if dried, cracked all over. We've found a second one in the sewer. Skylar found him. Do you think we should perhaps contact Bahari about it?
I think Helena takes a long moment and she leans in to study the body. And finally, after a long pause, she'll sort of give a nod. I'll contact Bahari.
Very well. What should I do with this one? Same as with the other one, burn him, or do you want to keep him to show him?
I want to keep it. I want Bahari to see.
Do you think this has anything to do with what happened a few nights ago?
One can hope not, but I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Reaches into his pocket, pulls up his phone, looks for something. The shipment from Bangladesh should be in by tomorrow. We will need someone to go pick it up at the airport. I unfortunately have that other thing with the youth club, but perhaps we can ask Skylar to go. One of your kids?
Not one of the kids. Skylar will go.
Well, I'll let her know. As he says this, one of the kids comes over. Mother?
Yeah.
Sorry to disturb you, Mother.
Of course.
Do you want the golden snake statue next to the stone statue, or do you want them like in different places? Where would you like them?
I want them almost like they're facing each other across the room. Does this make sense? I have a vision, you know.
Of course you do, Mother. If you say this is how you want it, this is how.
I
this is
want
how
it
it
to.
should be.
I want it to look like you're walking through the archangels. You know the part in Neverending Story, the scary part with the laser?
Was that on YouTube?
Nope.
TikTok?
No. Oh, I don't like that. I have a VHS player at my apartment above the shop. We will watch it together so you can be fully baptized in the knowledge of the Neverending Story. But like archangels, think of archangels. How would archangels look? Like that.
Oh, okay. I'll do my best.
Oh, okay. I believe in you. I think that you're doing a great job. I see you. I validate you. I hear you.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you.
Run along.
Turns around, goes. Samir says, "You still have a VHS?"
Of course I have a VHS.
Hmm.
It's okay.
Oh, yes. No, that's totally fine.
I have some cool tapes to watch.
That's perfectly fine. That's
metal
that's good.
videos? Are you interested?
No, not really.
Okay.
But I was thinking about what Ricky was just saying there. This is a pretty good idea. I mean, Bahari doesn't really understand a lot of the new technology stuff, but things like YouTube and TikTok would be a great way to reach a new audience.
Viral videos.
Mm-hmm. The kids are going on TikTok these days for everything. They want to know how to tie their shoes. They go on TikTok. They want to know how to cook an egg. They go on TikTok. They want to know why their father left and never came back. They go on TikTok.
They want to know where there's a cool place that they can perhaps be seen, heard, and validated.
Could be something to look into. I mean, I'm not too up on it myself, but I can certainly find someone who is.
Do that. Find somebody who's really familiar with it. And perhaps, like you said, we'll find a new audience to draw in with viral videos. Do you think Gil would like to be videoed and put on TikTok?
No.
Maybe we should start a TikTok page for Gil.
That's
Instagram?
a good idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
He needs an Instagram page. Gil the
perhaps.
Snake.
Get him on Threads.
Threads. Everybody likes Threads.
Yes. No. Nobody likes Threads. People are just on it, even though they hate it.
I forget about it, honestly, all of the time.
Yes. You too.
But an Instagram and a TikTok page for Gil, and then we can make a viral video with him with little tiny felt hats, perhaps. Make it a little bit more inviting.
Well, why stop there? I think Gil deserves his own only snack.
You've gone too far. You will not do that to my son.
Very well. I apologize, Mother.
Apologize to Gil.
I will put this body away and make arrangements for the pickup tomorrow.
Excellent. And don't forget about finding somebody who knows how to make a viral video about snakes.
Yes, I will do that right away.
Thank
As he turns around, your phone rings.
Hello?
As you pick up the phone, we pan back and we see that in the basement of this old abandoned post office, there is this veritable temple being built with golden stake statues of Set, frescoes on the wall, hieroglyphs. There are about 15 young Gothic kids just working away at this while you survey your domain. Cassie. Prince is running up ahead of you. You've reached a graveyard, and sort of as he usually does, he has taken it upon himself to go and investigate further, but he's a very good boy. You know he always comes back, so you're not too worried. As you fold the leash and put it back into your pocket, you walk through the gates, find yourself among familiar landscape, tombstones, mausoleums, trees, wrought iron gates. There's a peace and quiet here, which is strange because as someone who has recently dealt a lot with ghosts, to be in a place so filled with them should unsettle you a little bit. But as you walk in through the gates and step into the cemetery, what would someone see?
Cassie is fairly tall, a little bit gaunt. I think almost haunting in a way, with the way that her hair, dark and straight, sort of drapes over her shoulders as she walks. But despite that, she's still quite pretty underneath all of the heavy makeup. And she walks hunched, kind of like she's trying not to be seen. And quickly. She has a destination she is going to. She's not just meandering around.
Where is she going to?
A very specific grave. The grave of April Conway.
You could find it in the dark with your eyes closed. You've been here so often. Do you maintain it, or do you just let it run?
Yes. Cassie very diligently likes to pick the weeds. She'll occasionally come with flowers if she can find a florist that's open late at night. She likes to leave lilies on the grave. Those were April's favorite. And
When
she'll,
you... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say when she gets there, she'll sort of take a seat with her back up against the side of the tombstone, sitting beside it.
I did want to say as you approached it that even though you couldn't find a florist tonight, when you arrived, there are fresh lilies that have been placed on the tombstone.
As Cassie sort of walks up to the tombstone and she spies them, there's like a little small smile on her face when she notices them.
You sit down with your back against the tombstone, pull out your light, your book, start reading. Eventually, Prince tires of running around after fireflies and comes back to you and curls up right next to you, and you put your hand down and give him some scritches because he's a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
What's the book you're reading?
It's a binder. It's got several articles and medical journals as well as studies. A lot of them have to do with morality and the development of morality in adolescence. She's working on her theoretical review essay.
Vincent, you are sitting in your car outside the gates of the cemetery, as you could almost have predicted. Cassie came strolling through. Same time, same evening. Not holding lilies tonight, but carrying a couple of books with her. What kind of car is it, and what would someone see looking into it and seeing Vincent?
Well, first and foremost, his car is quite remarkable. It is a 1995 Crown Vic, former police interceptor, with the windows tinted out black. And inside, he would be probably shuffling through his tape decks, looking to see what's there, waiting to see this individual walk through the gates again. Sitting there in his kind of odd mixture of a look, very much looking like a rebellious mafioso, more so than anything. Maintaining his suit and tie, but little hints of rebellion against the family status quo.
You step out of the car and walk towards the gate. From somewhere off in the distance, you hear the sound of a Canadian voice saying, "Hail to Kurt." And you have received a hail from Ravensara, giving you an advantage to a night move to put away for later use. Hey Cujo, thank you for dropping in, my friend. We're playing some vampire, and of course we're in the graveyard. You step through, you know where Cassie went, and you sort of move towards there. At some point, Prince sort of jerks up, turns around, gets up, gives a low growl.
Cassie looks up from her readings, and I think she knows who's here. So she'll call out to the darkness. Hey, Vincent.
How you doing, Cassie? Visiting old friends again?
She looks at the tombstone. Yeah, I'm working on my theoretical review essay. It's due soon. It's stressing me out a little bit.
Why? You've been working on this for weeks. You got it down.
Yeah, but they could not like it. Just a lot. What are you up to? Are you doing anything?
Oh, talking to some old friends.
Oh, and she'll motion putting her fingers into the ground.
Yeah, those old friends.
Find anything interesting?
Well, I think we finally figured out what Hoffa's at, but aside from that, just making sure that people pay their proper respects. Oh, well, I mean, something like that.
You got anything planned tonight?
No? You?
Not really.
Do you want to get out
Want
of
to
here?
go get something to eat?
Which kind?
Yes.
You need a ride?
She'll look down at Prince and her muddied sneakers.
That's what car washes are for.
Okay. And she'll start to gather up all of her items and shove them into her backpack. And as she gets up, she will sort of crook her arm through Vincent's.
As Cassie's getting up, Vincent, just as she's picking herself up from the floor, would you give me a occult plus perception roll?
Happy to. What is my difficulty, sir?
Your difficulty is going to be 6.
6. 2 successes.
Excellent. As you watch her get up, you see something you've seen before. There is something that is hovering around her. Now, the thing is that it's not a ghost. You've seen this a few times before, and it's usually either here or either when she's talking about specific things. Some of her experiences a few years ago, I don't know exactly what Cassie may or may not have told you. That's why I'm kind of being cagey about it. We'll probably have to sort that out. But there are specific times and specific things she talks about, and you see this thing, and it is not a ghost, but it is kind of like, it's as if there is a window that kind of opens up near her. And whenever this happens, you see, and I say a window because it looks like light pours out of it. So it's not like it's a portal to somewhere else. It's kind of like if you had a flashlight that was coming through, and piercing through like a black veil or something. And it's always very brief, and it always just sort of highlights her. and then it disappears. And the first time it was so quick and so faded that you didn't think you'd seen it, but it's been 3 or 4 times now, and every time you see it, it becomes a little bit more a little brighter, a little bit more persistent.
Well, definitely looks like your watch is about this evening, so there's that.
Huh?
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I
Oh.
see Prince. Well, are we friends yet? And he like reaches into like his like the pocket of his jacket and pulls out a milk bone. Yeah, I'm learning, just like you. It'll be all right.
He looks very suspiciously at it. Like
It's,
if a dog could give you like the...
listen, these shits cost me $10, Prince. You gonna eat it?
Prince looks up at you, Cassie.
I look down at Prince and then I look back at Vincent. You know, you might have better luck if you just give him raw meat.
Do you understand what that would smell like in my car?
Like raw meat.
Noted. I'll bring him a T-bone next time. Sound fair, Prince? T-bone next time?
I give Prince a little pat on the head.
But these will help with your breath, which needs some looking after.
He gives
Look.
you a...
He like breaks it in half, like takes a little bite. Minty.
Did you just eat a dog treat?
This is the same shit they serve to prisoners. I've been there. Trust me. It's okay.
Reluctantly, Prince will eat half of it, but reluctantly, and he's not happy about it.
I give Prince a little pat on the shoulder, and as we're walking, I'll pull out some beef jerky I had in my pocket, in my bag, and I'll just hold it out to him as we're walking.
His little tail wagging. Very happy about that now. The two of you will walk out of the cemetery, into the car, go out somewhere, grab a bite, I guess. Make nice.
Like,
A bite. Take a bite out of crime.
Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652.
You go out for some barbecue. A little later that night, after you've gone out, had a bite, Helena, after you've overseen the placement of the 2 statues, Cassie, you return home. Are you still living in the same home you were living in 5 years ago?
yes, same apartment. It's a lot nicer now, though.
How come?
There's furniture.
That's a good start.
Mhm.
You walk up to your apartment. The place itself, the building is not any better than it was. It's still kind of dark in the stairwell, and it's always kind of a little creepy. A few of the apartments now are empty during the pandemic. There were a great number of deaths, and some of the people that were in this building died, and they were never replaced in the apartments. As you approach your door and are looking for your keys, you sense a presence. There's someone nearby on the landing above you in the sort of shadowed area just around the corner.
I think I'll sort of draw away from my door and kind of get drawn towards that presence, slowly walking.
As you turn around, you get this brief flashback, this moment when you were in the underground with Professor Holling, and he was showing you that poster of that woman, and he had done something to you that made you see strange things, and for a moment you get a flashback of that. You see his face grinning, you see this woman bathed in light, looking at you, but it's very, very short. It goes away almost immediately. You're getting much better at sort of clamping down on those. Teddy, as you watch Cassie, you notice her turn around, and for a moment her eyes disappear, turn over in her head, and she seems to kind of be frozen where she is, but it lasts maybe like a second. What do you do?
I'm gonna reach out and kind of just touch her arm really, really gently. Cass?
I think Cassie stares at you for a second, and she looks at your clothes and your hair and the makeupless face, and then she looks at your eyes, and this very uncharacteristically large smile lights up on her face, and she surges forward and wraps you in a hug. Teddy!
Hey, Cass.
You're
You
here.
miss me?
Yeah, and I'm gonna look around for Prince.
So you left Prince outside to finish his business. You always leave the front door, doesn't really close well, and so when you come in from a walk, you just let him be and he finishes his bit because he can't go when you're watching.
We all have anxiety issues, you know, I get it.
And so he, as you start looking around, he comes up and you hear him like kind of his little tung, 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 and then all of a sudden it stops. And then there's a very kind of hesitant, slow crawling, then you see him peek his head around the corner. And he sees you, Cassie, and Teddy, and he looks at you, Teddy, and you kind of see the short circuits in his brain, like you smell different, and that you understand is the problem. Like, it's not the fact that you're looking different, it's the fact that you smell different that's throwing him off right now.
She's gonna kind of let Cassie go for a second and get down in like a crouched position. Hey, buddy. Did you miss me?
He
Missed
moves
you.
forward slowly, his little nose sniffing. You can tell that he's just trying to find like a note that he recognizes. But as your voice reaches in, you can see his ears perk up, and you can tell that like he's almost there. He wants to believe. He's like Fox Mulder. He wants to believe, and you're right there. And he kind of approaches slowly, and it's kind of like, "Mommy?" It's kind of that like, "Is that you?" kind of thing.
She's gonna just tackle him, like a full-on like dog wrestle tackle.
And
All
as soon as you do, there's something in you that sort of awakes that recognition in him, and like he starts playfully fighting with you and playfully biting you, and kind of his tail is wagging. He's got that kind of dog thing. And Cassie, you watch this reunion and the two of them kind of rolling around on your landing. After a few moments, there's someone upstairs yelled, "We're trying to fucking sleep here. Keep it the fuck down."
Oh, I'm gonna go and try to unlock my apartment door. Do you want to come in?
Yeah, let's go. It's been a minute.
Yeah, you're. Cassie's like, as like she's trying to unlock the door, she kind of pauses and looks over at Teddy, just like, "Are you real?"
Real as I've ever been.
Okay. And she will unlock her door, all of like 7 deadbolts on her door now, and open the door and kind of gesture.
Yeah, I think Teddy's gonna walk in and glance around the place. Definitely not like she remembers it. Wow. Clean. Yeah, clean is a word for it.
I have a couch. It's not the one I found on the corner of the road. It's new.
Got some nice stuff in here. Been
Yeah,
doing good.
One of my friends, Vincent, he didn't he said that I should have nicer things in my apartment, so he got me a couple of things.
Vincent.
Hmm?
Friend.
Friend.
Would Helena have known about Vincent?
I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
Would she have told Teddy about Vincent?
I think she would have maybe remarked that there's a guy hanging around.
Would she... What kind of remarks would she give to Teddy? Because you know Teddy would have pried.
I don't know. I don't know how much Helena knows of the nature of their friendship. I think she would give her all that she knows, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that she would also assure Teddy that she's got an eye on it.
So, guy doesn't just buy you all of this for just friendship, Cass.
Prince snorts in agreement.
Cassie looks at Teddy. We haven't fucked yet, if that's what you're asking.
Your business? Just,
I don't,
it's a lot.
The other couch had stains on it.
Yeah, I remember those. Those were gross.
Blanket over them.
Yeah, well,
So
polishing
why
a
are you
turd,
back?
right?
I'm happy you're back. I'm really happy you're back. I'm really happy to see you. You look really good. But why are you back?
I missed you. Missed everybody.
Missed you too.
Yeah, it gets lonely out there sometimes on the road. I'm
Well, you
thinking
had,
about you guys a lot lately, so.
Oh my god. And Cassie's gonna dive over towards her little bedroom area, because it's like a studio apartment, and she's gonna sort of drop to her knees and dig under the bed and come out with a tin.
I think while you're doing that, Teddy's eyes are going down to Prince and just kind of locking, this fucking Vincent guy. What's this shit?
Prince looks at you and then goes over into a little corner where he's got a little fucking amazing fucking dog bed, like the Cadillac of fucking dog beds is in the corner there. And it's embroidered with his name on the side. And he goes over and he lifts it, and then he gets something for anything. He comes back and he's got something in his mouth, and he leans over for you.
She takes it.
It's like half a dog cookie, mint. And he looks at you. He looks at you really proud.
You're a good boy. And she gives him a pat, and I think you should have this. And she hands it down to him.
He takes it, goes back, puts it under his bed, then lions down on his bed.
As you're walking back,
Orthopedic.
Teddy's pointing at the bed. Vincent too?
Yeah, he's well, Prince is a little wary of him, so he's been trying to. I told him to just give him meat.
Well, Prince is a good boy. He can
And then
read
I'm gonna
people.
Hand the tin to Teddy. It's just a very simple tin box that with a flip lid.
Present for me?
Kind of. I mean, you were sending me all of the postcards, and she'll look over at her fridge where every single postcard that you have sent her for the last 5 years is magneted to the fridge. They are covering every inch.
I'm glad you got those. And she's gonna pop the tin open and look inside.
Inside are a bunch of Polaroid pictures. There's some photos of Helena in her shop, yelling at the goth kids, or just standing behind the counter looking perturbed. There's various selfies, like really bad selfies of Cassie, like in front of like some of like Chicago's like landmarks, like the Bean. You just see her like it's just like this much of her face, and then the Bean very blurry in the background. There's a bunch of pictures of the girl that you would know as Cora, as well as some pictures of Prince in various cute poses. There's a picture of Cassie at her master's graduation, and Prince is wearing her little graduation cap on his head. And then there are a couple of pictures of a dark-haired man with a beard and dressed very nicely. Some of them are just sort of in a car, like she was in like the passenger seat taking a picture. Others are from like across the table at a restaurant.
She takes out the picture of you with Prince and you getting your master's, and she looks at it for a minute. Really glad you went back to school and you stuck with that. I'm really proud of you.
Yes. It was felt normal.
Good. She takes that one specifically, and you see her tuck that into her pocket. These are all mine?
Mm-hmm. They're just, since you were sending me photos, I thought that you would like pictures of things happening. And each of them is sort of labeled with like the date and like a little description on the back.
This is really cool, Cass. It's a great idea.
Yeah. Helena gave me the Polaroid camera. I think I was bothering her and she just wanted me to leave her alone.
Yeah, it sounds like her, right? This one? She holds up the picture of the bearded man.
Oh, that's Vincent.
See. Oh, he's handsome.
Yeah.
You like him?
I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, he clearly likes you, so.
Yeah, it's
good.
Nice having like an actual bed.
I bet. It's pretty important.
Have you seen Helena yet? She'll want to see you.
Yeah, I haven't seen her yet. I figured, I'd come over here and see you and my boy first.
As you say that, his ears perk up. He looks at you, and he looks like he's about to come, and then he stops and he looks towards the door, and he starts to growl, and you hear a loud knocking at the front door. Meanwhile,
you son of a bitch.
Meanwhile, Helena, you're back at the store. You've finished for the evening over at the temple. And you've gone back to the store. Of course, the store's not open. It's the middle of the night, but you're, doing some preparation work, whatever you need for the morning. Is Gilgamesh on you? Is he in a cage? What's the deal with Gilgamesh these days?
I think that after 5 years, there is like an aerial snake, like tube system, like for gerbils, but big enough for Gil. And I imagine that he probably has like branches and like little hidey holes everywhere across the store that he can like just do his own thing. And then if he wants to come hang out with her, he can come hang out with her. She has, I don't know what the equivalent of a dog bed is for a snake, but she's got that like at the register.
A very nice branch for him to coil on.
Yeah, like a beautiful like some sort of like exotic branch sitting on the counter. And there's a little sign that says, please don't pet the snake.
Yeah, at your own fucking risks.
Mm-hmm.
As you're finishing up some work, and you're hearing Gilgamesh move around about in his, his little snake highway.
Tube system
that you've built him. You see a headlights as a car pulls up in front of your store. As lights shut off. A moment later, door slams. Through the drawn blinds, you see the shape outline of someone walking towards the front of your store. Whoever it is goes to walk in, but the door is locked, and then it kind of goes tung tung.
Embarrassing.
And then there's a very embarrassed pause and a very exasperated pause, and then you hear knock, knock.
Helena will go to the door and flip the blinds so she can see who it is.
That's Hayden.
Oh, she'll unlock the door. Oh, before she does that, she's just gonna crack it and she's gonna say, "Excuse me, mister, we're closed."
Just open the door.
I thought I gave you a key. And she'll open the door.
No, you didn't give me a key. And every time I come here, the door's locked, and you're like, I thought I gave you a key. And I'm like, no, you didn't give me a key. I get this feeling you don't really want to give me a key. You're just toying with my emotions with the key.
Do you want a key?
I don't know. I would feel like it would be like another step into, whatever this is. Like, I'm not giving you a key to the chantry.
I don't want a key to the chantry.
I can't really fault that reasoning.
She'll hold the door open for him to walk in, and then as soon as he walks in, she'll lock it and close the blinds again.
You nervous?
No, it's just
Okay.
I don't want anybody walking in. Are you nervous?
No, I'm just saying, like, that the robbers aren't going to do anything to you. Anyways, it's not important.
Are you gonna protect me, Hayden? Is that what you're gonna do?
Okay, look, stable that for now.
Okay.
There's a lot of, I don't know. It's uncomfortable.
What's uncomfortable?
Just this, like this whole talking about like, sharing keys and moving in together and like, next thing you...
I just asked if you wanted a key to the shop, so you didn't have to
but
run into the door every time that you wanted to come to the shop.
Yes, I would like a key to the shop.
Okay. You don't have to make it weird, Hayden. You can just say what you want.
Making it...
Mm-hmm. We don't have to talk about next steps. There is no next step. You know that, right? I thought that
He
was
looks
very,
up and
very clear.
watches Gilgamesh go by and goes, "No, there definitely isn't."
I thought that there would be no weirdness, right, getting into this whole situation, but now you're making it weird. Is there something that you have on your feelings?
No, I'm just trying to make like, this is what people do. They make small talk about whatever, like.
Do you want to go fuck Hayden? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, but I can't just yet.
Why?
Because we have some place to be.
Where are we going?
We're going to see the prince.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to take me out for a drink.
I mean, I'll take you out for a drink after if we're still alive.
Why are we going to go see the prince, Hayden?
Because the prince said I would like to see Helena.
Are you sure?
Yes, yes.
There's a lot of Helens.
There's no Helens in the city. Yeah, she meant you. She said, Helena, that weirdo who runs the occult shop. So.
That's a bit rude.
But she's the prince. She's allowed.
Do you think I'm weird, Hayden?
Yeah. But like not in an off-putting way.
Okay.
More kind of in a acquired taste, but endearing way.
Okay. Why are we... I don't really want to see the prince, Hayden. I don't really have an option, do I?
No.
Okay.
Well, you can't just go and see the Prince Eater. We gotta, prep you.
Why? What
Because
are
I
we
have no
prepping
clue
me
what she
for?
wants.
Okay, what do I tell her? Am I gonna die?
I mean, not likely.
Okay.
Look,
All right.
so first of all, of course, the prince knows about your clan. But we knew that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I've not heard anything having to do with your clan specifically, or you specifically, so that's why I'm saying if these fucking bots could stop coming into fucking our Twitch chat.
Really fucking rude, honestly. Don't like it.
So there hasn't been anything about that. However, a couple of nights ago, there was a Sabbat pack that got intercepted by Baptiste, and they got one, and a bunch of them escaped. So I don't know, it might have something to do with that. So I figured before I brought you to see the prince, I would say, do you know anything about that?
I have nothing to do with that or know anything about that.
All right, well, he's going to use Auspex because he doesn't trust you.
Hayden doesn't trust me.
Yeah, but you don't know that.
We're
I know you're not lying, so I'm not going to make you.
I'm just a little baby.
Okay. Looks at you and goes, and your people, you've been keeping quiet, you haven't done anything untowards.
No. I promise.
Are you building a temple in the city? Okay.
When everybody starts looking at me like that, I get a little bit nervous. Yes, I am. It feels like nesting. You know, like when a woman's about to give birth and she, like, out of her own control, builds like a nursery.
What? You're building a nest?
Well, no, it's not. It just feels like that. That's what it feels like. Like I kind of have to.
You know you can't embrace anybody else, right?
I haven't.
No, but you know you can't, right? Like literally, if you do that, you are gonna get killed. They're gonna get killed. I'm probably gonna get killed.
I'm not pregnant or embracing anyone. It's just it's like an allegory, Hayden.
Yeah, I know, but
Jesus
I'm saying, yeah, but you're saying you're nesting because you want children, and I'm like,
no, that's not what I said. That's not. Oh my god, this is what I was worried about.
You can't embrace anyone.
I'm not. I haven't.
Tell me you haven't.
I have not.
It's gonna auspex you again.
I'm not lying. I'm just a little guy. I'm not.
All right, you can't.
I didn't.
Okay, that's good. I trust you. I believe you.
It was just like a simile, you know, like when you like compare something, right?
What? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Look.
Do you not trust me?
Yeah, I do. It's fine. I do. I'm just, they got rules.
And I'm following the rules, but there's nothing in the rules that says I can't build a temple. Or nest.
Well, that's kind of like the rule about not farting in an elevator with other people.
The rules don't say I can't build a nest or a temple.
All right, but just don't bring it up.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Okay.
You brought it up.
Yeah, I know, because I'm trying to cover all the... Okay, look. One more question. There was a weird thing a couple nights ago. I don't know if you felt it. We felt it at the chantry, like big time. Like some sort of... what's that thing? The Star Trek thing, the disturbance in the Force or whatever. Like it was kind of like that.
Star Wars. It's Star Wars.
That's literally what I said. That's literally the words that...
Oh. Okay. Anyway, would Helena have felt it? I would imagine she would have.
Yeah, you felt like some stirring in the darkness that felt antagonistic to you.
Yeah. It felt weird, but didn't have anything to do with me.
All right. Well, get your stuff. We gotta go.
She'll grab her purse from behind the counter, but before they walk out, she will grab Hayden by the hand. You do trust me, right?
Well, look, you're a Sedite, and there's that. But, yeah. I mean, no, not really, but not like about the simple stuff. Yeah, just like it's gonna at some point. It's in your blood, and I don't even know to which extent you're fighting it, but it's just gonna keep getting stronger. And it's it's in your blood.
So why are you hanging around?
Because I'm curious. Because you're great in a sack.
That's true.
Crazy ones always are.
I'm not crazy.
And I don't know, I like it.
Do you like me, Hayden?
Oh God, fucking get in the car. I'm leaving.
Okay.
Get me a key. And he walks out.
I would imagine she already has a key made for him. She locks the door with it. And then as soon as she gets in the car with him, she just puts it on the dash.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You just have to ask. I'm a pretty simple woman, Hayden.
Yeah, you're everything but.
Yeah, but you keep coming back around, so.
He's gonna reach over and grab you by the back of the head and pull you in and give you a big old kiss.
Not the mouth.
Oh, sorry, am I gonna mess up your lipstick?
Yeah, literally.
Like this is too intimate for you?
Kinda.
All right, fine.
Not really, just kidding. You can drive now.
Starts off the car. Drives off into the night. Meanwhile, where does Vincent live, Kurt?
He lives uptown in a high-rise apartment, graciously provided by the family. Windows very much have giant metal shutters on them to keep the daylight out. But yeah, no, he does. He lives downtown. They're very much, and they want us to model ourselves after these blue bloods, so we gotta kind of live like them, walk like them, talk like them. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit, if you ask me.
Well, as you walk in, the guy at the front door, Robert, sees you come in. Good evening, Mr. Giovanni. Nice to see you again. Did you have a good evening?
Hey, yo, Bobby. Yeah, I had a wonderful evening. Another night with the moon.
Ah, yes, the moon. When I was younger, I fancied myself a bit of a poet, and the moon was always one of my favorite topics. I once wrote this poem to this little lass that I liked, and I kind of compared the shape and the roundness and the fullness of the moon to her belly, and she did not like that.
No, most women would in fact not enjoy that particular, comparison.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way.
I'll bet you did. But life's full of regrets,
It is. I mean, but you move on, right? I mean, look at me, 3 kids in college, I got fucking 3 mortgages on my house. I got a rash on my ass that won't fucking quit, but you know me, I can't complain.
I mean, you're still upright. And that's more than most can say. Whole graveyard full of people.
True enough.
Well, You haven't happened to see any of my fellows come through this evening?
Oh yeah, actually, I let Miss Giovanni into your apartment about 20 minutes ago.
Bobby, I don't know how many times I gotta tell you this. If you let someone in, you page me.
I didn't want to bother you. And she said not to. She said it would be fine.
I got it. All right. He goes up to his apartment.
You go up, when the doors open, you see a bodyguard standing next to your penthouse door. You recognize him. He is the bodyguard of Arya Giovanni, one of the higher-ups in your clan. When you walk in, it says, Mr. Giovanni, good evening, and he opens the door to your apartment for you.
I would like to point out that it's kind of a dick move to do that to my own home. I'm just throwing that out there. I know you're just doing your job, but don't do it again. And he walks in.
As you walk in, you hear Arya's voice say, you know it's the family's home, right, Vincent?
My name's on the lease. That's all I can say.
Well, we all have the same name, so technically all our names are on the lease.
Well, I mean, semantics. What can I do for you this evening, man?
She gives you a little bit of a smile. There's a nice bottle of red wine that is opened in front of her. She's sitting in your favorite chair. Her shoes are off. As always, she looks like a cross between a banker, an accountant, and an undertaker. Very well put together, very Victorian in her clothing and her demeanor. Her hair tied back, very tight, and dressed all the way up to the neck and all the way to the wrist, and all the way down to the ankles. But her shoes are off, and her feet are tucked underneath her on the chair. Help yourself. It's a nice little Chianti.
I'll pass. I just ate. Don't want to mix that on a very full stomach. What can I do for you this evening?
Oh, please. Have a seat.
He's not saying, lady, you're fucking up my evening, but he is very much giving off that impression. And he just goes and he sits down. That's my favorite chair, right? I just want you to just know that I brought that. We were allowed to bring one item from New York, and I brought my chair, and your ass is in it at the moment.
I can see why you brought it from New York. It's very comfortable. Is this calf leather?
As a matter of fact, it is.
Oh, it's so smooth.
Yep, that's why it's my favorite chair.
I can definitely feel the indentation of your butt in it, though.
Can we please not talk about my ass?
Fine. Vincent. Could you explain to me why this night I got a phone call from Matthias Giovanni because he had just gotten a phone call from Prince Calderon.
Right.
Asking for you by name.
Why on earth would he know about that? We ain't been in town long enough for him to know about us. Why would he know about me?
The prince is a she, by the way, just so you know.
Prince is a she. Prince is an honorific title. He just, yeah.
Okay. I do think that if I knew that answer, I probably wouldn't be sitting in your favorite chair right now drinking a Chianti that I took out of your wine cellar.
So, okay, but they didn't say any reason why she wants to see me? That just she wants to see me? That's it?
Yeah. The word was that you were invited to attend her, and that if you felt that invitation was not strongly worded enough, that she would send the sheriff. What have you done, Vincent?
Nothing. I mean, legitimately, I ain't been doing nothing. I mean, granted, I have to admit, I'm a little pissed off. I mean, in In New York, I was damn near a made man. Here, I'm little more than a bag boy, and that's a little shitty. And
Yeah, but you understand, Vincent, that there's a plan behind all of this, right? And that your role is not to serve yourself and to better your position. It is to serve the family and do what is necessary and required of you. You understand this, right?
I get that, but there's a certain level of respect that comes with that particular title.
Have you been disrespected?
I will say that those within this city have looked down upon me in certain respects when they ask about my accolades and where I am from, and I tell them things that I have done, and they look at me and they go, "But you're nobody." Well, of course I'm nobody here in Chicago. I was somebody in New York, but here we are. So I don't know why the prince would want to see me. I don't have an answer for that one. I truly don't. I mean, he doesn't. Wait a minute. Question. Just. No, that couldn't be it. Okay, well, I mean, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to, like, wait for the sheriff to come get me, right? Or.
No, it would be best if you went of your own accord before they had to send the sheriff. My question is, do you want representation?
I mean. Who would be the representation? You?
I could come.
Well, I mean, I'm asking, like, who, or would it be better to have, you know, maybe the Primogen himself, perhaps, speak on my
I get
behalf?
the feeling that if Atius wanted to take part in this meeting, he simply would. He
Fair.
probably wouldn't have bothered to send me to fetch you.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I just, all right. Well, I mean, fucking, let's go see a prince.
Excellent. She gets up, puts on her shoes. Thank you so much, Edie and Proud, for that amazing donation. We got 1,000 bits, so we will say that will give each of you 3 night moves. It does help. They get 9 moves, which allows them to buy automatic successes or avoid failures or reroll botches. So that's good. Thanks so much for the donation. Appreciate you. You will go down, and as she steps out, she says, "We'll take my car."
But mine's faster.
She looks at you.
It's a Crown Vic. It's got a V10 engine in it. Like, literally, can chase down a Mustang. Why would you not want that? It's an old cop and it's got bulletproof doors. And you want to go what? Take your Escalade? Like,
Yes.
no style and no class.
You know, not so much about the flash in Chicago, more about the getting things done. Perhaps it's something you'll learn if you spend enough nights among us.
Fair enough.
You will go down, climb into the Escalade, and head on our way with her back at Cassie's apartment. The door has doored. Prince has perked his ears.
I think Teddy is gonna glance to Cass and then look at the door, and she's gonna make her way over to it. Is there like a peephole situation? I would assume so. These are apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna look through the peephole first.
You see a man on the other side of the door, a little bit older, bald, glasses, super fit, tight white t-shirt. He looks like, like Stanley Tucci, a guy who just really kind of trains but like looks like someone smart at the same time. He's just kind of a,
Does he look familiar?
Well, I would say, let me look. You left. You weren't really part of the city that much. I'm going to say he doesn't.
She's gonna...
He's clearly kindred, though. You can definitely feel that he's kindred of
Who is
some
it?
potency.
Who's there?
Some bald guy.
Bald guy. Do I recognize a bald guy?
Too many.
Oh.
Okay. Just
Can I nestle up next to Teddy and kind of push her aside as I peer through the peek hole?
Yeah. As you do, you see the face of Alex Mason, who is a member of Clan Toreador and also the sheriff. of the city.
Shit. Uh,
You know him?
Cassie's gonna open the door.
Good evening, Cassie.
Hello.
May
Her
I come
voice
in?
cracks a little bit.
May I come in? He walks
Sure.
in, looks at you. Sally?
Teddy.
Teddy.
Close.
Teddy?
Should I
Didn't you
know
used
you?
to be like blonde?
Yeah.
Huh. You've changed.
Could say that.
Excellent.
And you are?
Renewal is good. My name is Alex Mason. I'm the sheriff of the city.
All right.
Is that Prince? Oh, he's such a good boy. Prince is like, "Rrrr."
That's my boy.
Back in town, are you?
Yeah, just got here today.
That's very interesting. I thought I was going to have to run you down.
Oh. Isn't that pleasant? That certainly makes me feel at ease. Run me down for what?
Oh, it's just an expression. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to have to go out of my way to find you.
Here I am.
Is there a reason why you're here?
Oh, yes. I'm very sorry. I've been sent by Prince Calderon to ask you to attend her this evening. And as luck would have it, while we did not expect to find Teddy here, the prince is also interested in seeing Teddy. And they'll give you an opportunity to reintroduce yourself and ask for permission to be in the city again. Which I'm sure you were going to do first thing.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
First
Did we
thing.
do something wrong? Did we do something wrong?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good then. That's good.
Shall we? I
We'll
can
get
give you a moment if you
A
would
minute?
like. I'll give you a moment. About I step outside, I'll be downstairs. 5 minutes?
Yeah, we can
Sure.
do that.
Excellent. Don't make me come back up here. Nice to see you. I love what you've done with the place, Cassie. It's wonderful.
Thanks. New couch.
Yeah, it looks very comfortable. Is that calf leather?
It squeaks when I sit on it sometimes.
Oh,
I think Teddy kind of does one of these and sniffs the air. Yeah, it's calf.
good taste. I'll be downstairs. See you, Prince. Good boy. Mason turns and walks out, and you hear him go down the stairs. He's left the door open.
What the fuck is going on? I leave for just a little bit and suddenly the prince wants us? What's up, Cass? It's been going on since I've been gone.
Nothing. I mean, Helena and I have kept our heads pretty low. You know, we got recognized, and Malkavians are doing pretty good in the city as well. So I'm confused. You haven't been up to anything either, right?
Just traveling.
I have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Yeah, this kind of smells like shit, doesn't it?
I'm gonna take out my little phone and text Helena.
As you pick up the phone, you turn it on, and for a brief moment, your screen is replaced by an image of a maze. A circular maze.
Cassie opens her phone, sees that, and then flips it shut and shoves it into her pocket. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Are you okay, Cass?
Yeah. Do you want to? Do you have your phone? Do you want to text Helena?
I don't remember the last time I had a phone.
Oh,
5 years ago. Got a landline.
Cassie like digs out her phone from her pocket and like without looking hands it to Teddy.
Teddy's gonna look at her very suspiciously and like slowly open the phone.
A picture of Vincent pops up. Like, no, I'm kidding.
It's like a very grainy picture, a pixelated picture of Prince.
Oh. She looks for Helena's number.
You find it. It's the second most called number.
She's gonna shoot her a text, just saying, "Hey, what's up with this Prince business?"
I think Helena will send back a bunch of like question marks, and it'll say, "Not sure." With Hayden. Has anybody heard from Teddy?
She's gonna send you, if she can. It takes a minute because Teddy is
T9.
learning how to fucking remember how to use his phone, and you get back a little like wolf emoji.
And you'll get back then from Helena, Teddy, a bunch of question marks.
Yeah, just got back in town. Prince wants us? Quite a bunch of question marks.
The dog or the person? Just kidding. Hayden's
Cassie
taking me to
kinda-
see the prince now.
Cassie like leans over Teddy's shoulder with like one eye, just like afraid to look at her phone screen, and she like reads the conversation.
I think you just get a K, see you there, but it's like see you. And then there.
I thought you,
This P9 shit.
I thought you were
Let's
going to
go
call me a
Cassie
cunt
text.
for a second.
See you next Tuesday.
I love you. I wish that we weren't seeing each other like this now.
She sends you a heart back.
I think that Helena understands that you're trying to use T9 and
Yeah.
is very empathetic.
Cassie like looks over and she's like, "Aw, Lena never says that she loves me."
No, yes, she does. I will tell you, she does.
She doesn't remember it at this moment.
Looks like she's on her way too.
Okay,
She's
well,
gonna hand the phone back to you.
5 minutes are up. Well, I don't want that man busting down my door again. Let's go.
Yep.
Do you want to take a moment to talk to Prince now? Or do you want to do it after the break? Creep.
I mean, we can do it real quick right now. I think she looks at Cass and be out there in a sec, all right?
Prince looks like he's waiting
1
to
minute.
go out with you.
1 minute. As soon as Cassie leaves, she's gonna walk over to Prince and kneel down.
He doesn't
She-
know if he should be following Cassie or stay. He's kind of confused.
She looks at him into his eyes and forms her connection with him. Hey, buddy.
Mom?
It's me.
Oh, confused.
This got you confused.
Well, you're back, and Cassie's been taking really good care of me. So, who's my mommy?
Well, you've got two mommies now. Is that okay?
It's very modern of us.
It's very modern of us, yes.
Okay.
Sometimes I do things that maybe you wouldn't be safe with me. And you're very safe here. with Cass. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
I keep her safe.
I know you do.
Yeah.
What about this Vincent guy?
Oh, fucking guy.
Yeah.
Look, he's nice. He's nice. He takes good care of mommy Cassie. Like, he's nice to her. He talks nice to her. Buys her things. This fucking bed's the shit.
It looks pretty nice.
This fucking bed. But he smells like death.
Like, he's laying
Like,
around
if
the
you were
body.
to go in the graveyard and dig and pull something out of the ground, like, that's what it would smell like.
But he's good to you.
Yeah, he tries a little too hard sometimes, but and his fucking mint cookies, god damn it. Like, bring me a T-bone or something, you know?
I'll let him know. Sure, I'm gonna meet him soon enough. Just,
He drives a really loud car. You're gonna hear him coming for like I know 10 minutes before he walks in the door that he's here.
She thinks back to that time that Lee let her use his car. I wonder if he'd let me drive it. Anyways, maybe let up on him just a little bit, but
Okay.
keep watch.
He hasn't slept here or anything.
So he's got a little respect then.
He uses that word a lot, talks a lot about that. That and cannolis. He uses that word all the time.
All right. Well, you see him do anything stupid,
I'll bite his nuts off.
rip his fucking throat out.
Yeah, that too.
You're a good boy.
I'm gonna take care of mommy Cassie.
You take good care of her.
Yeah.
And I'll be around a lot more, right? I
Yeah.
think it's best you stay here with her because she needs somebody looking out for her.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can do that. Plus, I got this schwanky bed.
Yeah. Maybe I'll score you a T-bone while I'm out.
Oh, I dream of it. I mean,
I
you know,
got you.
Cassie gives me. Cassie feeds me well.
I'm sure she does.
Yeah. You know, I keep in shape though. I walk around a lot. You know.
Maybe
Get
you
my
can
steps in.
come take a run with me sometime. Show you some new tricks I learned.
That'd be great.
All right. Well, does he normally go everywhere with her? Like, would he be going on this trip with us?
No, I think you wouldn't bring him to like a kindred thing.
All right. Well, you stay here.
Okay.
Double mommy's return.
Right.
T-bones.
Ugh. Dream come true.
All right. She gives him a pet. Gives a little
Uh-oh.
scratch behind the ear.
Mommy.
Yeah.
You smell a lot more like me than you used to.
Just wait till you see my new trick.
He goes over and lies back in the bed.
She's
This
gonna
bed is fucking awesome. Ugh.
head out the door.
As you head out the door, one last little thing and then we will take a break. As you're driving in the Escalade, Vincent, the phone in the Escalade rings and Arya Giovanni picks it up and answers, says yes. Yeah, he's here. Yep, she hands you the phone. It's Primogen.
Yes, sir.
Vincent. Whatever situation is occurring, I want you to play nice I want you to find out as much as you can. There's things that interest me that are currently happening in this city, and I believe they might be connected to what you're about to discuss with the prince.
You would have
Play
me
nice, be of service.
see, but I mean, like, you want me to call you when we're done? What are you talking?
I'll reach out. Just be of service.
On the family's honor.
Also, if you have time, there's one more thing I'd like you to look into when you have
Yeah?
a little bit of free time.
And you see him, he literally like opens his coat and he pulls out like a little book and he like, go ahead.
A painting's been sold. A painting that was damaged by fire and water. It was pulled out from an underground cache that had been thought destroyed a long time ago. It's a painting of a woman, saintly like a Madonna maybe, or something like that.
All right.
They found it underground somewhere. I'd be interested in getting my hands on it and finding out if there are others.
Like, am I just, am I trying to retrieve it, or am I just trying to get you a location? What is it exactly that you're wanting?
I would like the painting, and I would like to know if there are others that have been found.
All right. I mean, finding lost art's not really my thing, but I mean, I'll give it a shot.
And if you do find it and you do acquire it, that one and others, I want you to burn them.
All right.
Thank you, Vincent.
Burn paintings. Thought we were part of the Axis, but anyway.
The line goes dead. And as you drive on into the night, we will take a short break here, my friends, so that people can go tinkle. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone that came in here. Hopefully Miko's been taking care of everyone. Before the break, we saw what had become of the characters over the 5 years since the last game. Teddy had gone out of town, but has returned. Vincent and Cassie have struck up a friendship. Cassie has returned to university, and Helena is having a interesting relationship with a Tremere named Hayden.
Let's not call it a relationship. It's a situationship.
It's a situation. They're situated. Here in Quebec, in French Quebec, we say à côté, which means leaning on. So when you're like together, but you're not married or anything, you are à côté, means you are leaning on someone.
Oh, that's so nice. I like that.
Yeah. Leaning against each other like broken statues. I'm a romantic, you can tell. But beyond my romanticism, I'm also a guy who tells stories in Vampire. And the story right now is that all 4 of you have been summoned to go meet the prince, Lucia Calderon, including Teddy, who until a few hours ago was not even in town. So there's a little bit of WTF going on there with that. As you are heading toward this meeting in your various vehicles and towards the prince, I will say this for the benefit of the audience: Prince Lucia Calderon gained the seat when her sire, she is of Clan Ventru, and her sire was called away. Nathaniel Thorpe was called away some years ago, some decades ago now, to Europe to deal with something, and he's never returned. And she's never really been too hot on the idea of being prince, even prince by interim. She is a very savvy and active businesswoman, and she dislikes generally the role of prince, but is not willing to let anybody have it. So the city of Chicago has been ruled by her now for several decades. You all had occasion to meet her because at the end of the year, so at the end of what would have been the first session, the first series of lights that we did, when you were given a year to sort of prove your worth to the Camarilla before you were admitted, you would have met her and been recognized officially, which gave you the right to feed in the city and to exist in the city, basically. You, of course, have to follow the rules of the Camarilla and act like good Camarilla citizens, but you've never had occasion to encounter her since. Your characters are young, you're alone on the totem pole, you don't have any status. People like the prince and the primogen, even the sheriff, are people you don't run into really regularly. On top of that, your characters are not super enmeshed in kindred society yet, so it's not like you hang out at Elysium or get invited to things. So this is literally like, this is like you get a phone call tomorrow and the president of the United States says, come and see me in the morning. Like, that's kind of that level of what the fuck. So as your characters are traveling through the city, each in your own vehicles, in your own sort of situation, you are heading for the area of town called West Loop. West Loop is an affluent part of town. It is a place that's got a lot of hip clubs and bars and restaurants, things of that nature. It used to be an industrial district, so a lot of the places here are old converted warehouses that have been turned into this kind of hipster, affluent kind of community. There is a Oprah Winfrey's wall is here. She has a wall and it's here.
Wow.
Yeah. As you all converge toward an area that is along, it's not going to mean anything to you, but I took the time to go look it up and write it down, so I'm going to say it. As you are heading up Lake Street, you come up on a long stretch of road that used to be a bunch of like these different factories and whatnot. Over time, all these places have been connected and rebuilt into condos and things like that. When you arrive there, you see basically a construction site. All these buildings along this entire stretch of road, this 1 block long set of ancient warehouses, old warehouses, but that had been converted into condos and whatnot, have all been gutted. You're looking basically at the skeleton of all these things. There are crews working, there are fences around the area, there's police presence, there are a lot of big bright white lights kind of shining in and everything. And even though by city bylaws there's not supposed to be construction like this in the middle of the night in this kind of neighborhood, it's going on. There's construction crews, the whole 9 yards. Something's happening here. This place has been bought and is being rebuilt in something or another. The ostentatiousness of that, the sort of brazen flaunting of the bylaws, the just the vastness of the project itself that is being conducted by not that many people at all. It's a very focused thing. Lets you know that whoever's doing this is someone who's got a lot of pull, not just in the mortal world, but also in the kindred world. As you arrive, you will see an Escalade that is sitting there, idling. And I will say that, Helena, you've also arrived, pulling up with Hayden in his BMW, and you're also sitting outside. And when you ask why aren't we going in, he says, I was told we would be told when to go in. But as you're sitting there with Hayden, you're looking at this Escalade. You have no clues in the Escalade. The windows are tainted. Eventually, a Jeep pulls up, and out of it steps someone that you might recognize. Helena, perhaps not. I don't know if you would have met him, but Alex Mason, the sheriff of the city. The character was designed, by the way, by Kurt. At the beginning of the game, before we started the first series, I asked a bunch of people to design some NPCs for me, and Kurt designed the sheriff, Alex Mason, and you're going to meet a couple more that were designed by other people later, and I'll talk about them when we get to that. But you see, Helena, you see stepping out of the Jeep, Cassie, and is that Teddy?
Would Hayden stop her from getting out of the car?
No.
Okay. Helena, like, leaps from the passenger seat of Hayden's car and is, like, dead sprinting for Teddy. But just before she, like, goes in, she stops herself and sort of, like, rears back and, like, kind of remembering the situation. And very slowly and kind of cautiously throws her arms around her.
Teddy hugs her real tight.
I think while they're still hugging, you get kind of like a sigh of relief from Helena. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
We'll talk
Holding up?
soon. Yeah. Just kind of bugged out about this whole situation, but
Yeah.
you're here. Cassie's here.
It's
You
not
didn't
really
see all of
the
this, by the way.
welcoming party I was expecting.
No, I was hoping like maybe something at the shop. This is sort of this is kind of fucked up, isn't it?
A little bit. Yeah.
Any idea?
I have no idea. You?
Hayden said that the prince asked for me by name. I don't know why the prince would want anything to do with me. And when she says that, she sort of meets your eye, and I mean, Teddy knows what Helena is, and is sort of, you can see that there's some stress there.
Teddy puts a hand on your shoulder. Don't worry. We're all here together.
Yeah, thank fuck for that.
Yeah, we could die together.
I think at that, she'll sort of reach out and give Cassie's hand a little squeeze. You're not going to die, though.
Hopefully we all won't die. That would be the ideal outcome of this meeting.
Yeah,
None of us dying.
for sure. Would prefer that to not happen. But I think we'll be okay. We'll be fine. We're all together. Like you said, Teddy, you know?
I think that they would have just like, probably if we really did something really bad, they would have just us to begin with, you know? Like,
True.
We would be meeting.
And none of us has done anything, so
Maybe they need us.
I don't really want to be needed by the prince.
Oh.
I'll be 100% with you.
No one ever does, but
Just kind of want to finish my doctorate. This is annoying.
Yeah.
better than being
studying.
in trouble.
I almost would rather be in trouble. I've got it's really busy at the shop. I don't really want to stop what I'm doing with all that. But, you know,
Just
do
kind of
what we gotta do.
inconvenient, you know?
Wildly. Yeah. Who's in that car?
It's a really nice car.
Meanwhile, in that car, Arya's looking out and she goes, "Which one of those three is your girlfriend?"
Listen, all right, we ain't at that level, so just no. But my acquaintance, if you will,
Your special lady.
yeah, sure, we'll go with that. That would be that one there, and he just points at Cassie, and
She's
that,
like, the one with the Eddie Vedder look with the baseball hat.
and he like grin. No, not that. I don't know who the fuck that is. The one next to her, and then the one next to her, that's Helena. That's that witchy shopkeeper that I told you about.
Oh, that's Helena.
Yeah,
Atias has been talking about her a lot.
good or bad?
Hard to tell.
Mm.
Always depends, I guess.
Person of interest to the family?
Person of interest all around. Maybe. She's K-Tiff, I believe.
Clanless?
Yeah.
That's kind of... Well, I mean, way and above adopting.
You know their story, right? They were all embraced by a Sabbat pack.
Cassie said something about that at one point.
Apparently they didn't undergo the whatever voodoo they do to turn them into inhumane beasts, or whatever it is that the Sabbat does with the people.
I seen that once in Brooklyn. It's kind of interesting how they do go about it. It's kind of neat. I mean, not my bag of tea, but I get the reasoning.
And apparently they didn't, and they spent a year under surveillance with mentors, and they were accepted eventually.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that these knuckleheads, like they got adopted? Did we do that? Like on that level?
We didn't do anything. The Camarilla did.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Like, I ain't ever heard of but at least they were with their own clans, right?
Most of them.
Oh, well, that's good.
The little gothy one, or Helena, was KTF, but Tremere claimed her. I think that's one of them sitting in the BMW there. The others were...
Do I recognize
members of their clans?
Do I recognize the Tremere in the car?
Go ahead and give me... Go ahead and give me... well, I'm going to say you probably... Yeah, okay, so give me a streetwise roll and add your wits to that. Target of 5, I'm going to say for him.
5? Oh,
yeah.
Shit. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
So, yeah, he... Specifically him, because you would have been told the story of how in 2011 there was a Sabbat pack that came into town and killed 4 elders and tried to kill the Tremere regent. But before the Tremere regent was killed, the Sabbat pack was a pack of Blackhand, and before the Tremere regent was killed, she brought in this guy from San Francisco who's like a Sabbat hunter. That's like his thing. And he worked with the Scourge, and they hunted down this Blackhand pack and apparently killed all of them. And saved the regent's life, and so he's kind of, a little bit infamous.
A transplant.
His name is Hayden Croft.
Hayden. Do I care about him?
I mean, your little witchy friend is absolutely insignificant.
Friend is a strong word when it comes to that one.
Well,
she's important to Cassie, so therefore she's important to me.
You're a special lady, then.
My girlfriend's girlfriend? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Okay. She is a nobody. She's a KTF, and this very high-powered, influential Tremere has taken up. I mean, unless she is extremely gifted between the sheets. Someone like that becomes interesting to someone like Aiden Croft. We pay attention.
Fair enough. I will make a note of it.
You should do more than make a note. You should go out there and make friends.
I plan to, but I was going to let you finish before I did so. You drove.
You were
rude of me.
You were well raised, Vincent. You do
it's
your mother
about
proud.
Respect.
You do your mother proud.
I would hope so. If you don't need me anymore, then I will happily go join the merry band of misfits.
Please go ahead. I'll stay here, but if ever you run into some issues or difficulties with the prince and you need representation, just give me a call.
Well, got to make a name for myself one way or another in this city, so better start tonight.
Just remember that your name is also our name.
Oh, I'm well aware. Believe me, I've got plenty of friends, and he looks around him, reminding me of that every night.
Well, go and make some real friends.
Oh, thanks. I'll make sure to bring home a note from teacher. And he opens the door and slides out, and he pulls his long overcoat with him and like throws it over himself and begins to walk over, like immediately just looking at Cassie and just smiling.
Oh, and Cassie, like, it looks like she wants to move forward, but with present company, she's sort of forcing herself to stay rooted, and instead she just gives like a little wave. Hi.
Well, it seems Merry Band is kind of here together. Well, at least you two. And you are, Miss?
Teddy leans forward and does a...
Can I help you?
He smells like
Prince's-
death.
Yeah. Prince was right. You smell like shit. And he's not a big fan of your cookies. Maybe try bringing him a T-bone sometime.
I did tell him that.
She extends a hand.
And he like he takes the hand. You must be
Teddy.
Teddy. Yeah, Teddy, that's right. Heard a lot about you. And he like grabs your hand and like gives it a firm shake. Like an actual, not no dainty wilted hand shit, like an actual firm shake. I've heard a lot about you. You decide to come home? Stop making this sweet thing worry about you night after night?
Yeah. I miss my girls.
Good.
I lean into Helena. I'm like, what is happening right now?
I don't know, but my money's on Teddy, and I really like it.
Hey,
Well, it's good you're back. City's probably better off with you here than without you gone.
Feels good to be back. Well, maybe.
I have to admit, you're not exactly what I pictured, but pleasure to meet you nonetheless. Vincent.
Not exactly what you pictured?
No, not at all. I recall them talking of you as, well, for one, a blonde, and two, kind of a bit more of a high-class individual. More heels and dresses than shit kickers and jeans.
5 years on the road will change you a little bit.
Oh, that it will. That it will. I've gone on the lam a few times myself.
Well, if we get out of whatever the fuck this is alive, I'll have the pleasure of finally getting to know you.
Oh, I'll be asking everybody about you. Don't you worry about that. We'll get out of this alive. Don't you worry about it. Not one bit.
She just kind of glances back at Cassie.
Do you have a
Cassie's
place?
like,
Do you have a place to stay? Do you have a residence of some kind?
She
I
lives
have-
near Cassie.
Well, okay, that's fine. That's good to know that you have a place to stay. Are you flush? Do you need any currency?
I think I'm okay. But
You
thank you.
let me know if you need anything. Vincent, at your service.
I think Helena will lean over to Teddy and say, "Hey, do you want a job?"
A job?
Yeah, can just hang out at the store.
You just want me to come babysit the shop while you're gone.
she does. She wants to have alone time with Hayden.
Well,
Oh, you're fucking Hayden now?
I think in Helena's head, it's a big secret and nobody knows.
Everyone knows.
But everybody knows.
That makes sense. Me and a couple of the fellas, we were wondering the interaction between yourself and the resident Tremere, and that makes plenty of sense. Y'all are fucking. Okay, got it. But no.
We're not fucking. We're just
Did you give him a key to the store finally?
Oh, really? And like Vincent
that.
goes and stands next to Cassie. Do continue with the interrogation. This is quite entertaining.
We're just friends. We're just
Mhm.
really, really good friends. But yes, I gave him a key to the store.
Ah,
But he's
he
gonna
did it.
look over to Hayden and do one of these.
Vincent does the whole like.
Aiden's just staring out the front, like sinking in his.
At this point, Helena looks back at Hayden and does one of these numbers, just smiling.
Aiden's like,
I listen. Close friends. That's it.
Hey, you know what? Everybody needs a friends with benefits. Eternity's a long time.
Just friends. We're not.
The more you
There was a
reinforce
lot of
that.
weird noises coming up from the apartment from down the store the other day.
Listen,
Maybe
like,
ritual sacrifice and not whatever it is that you think that it is.
I don't know.
well,
There was a smell.
Did it smell like Thai food?
It kind of did, actually.
Yeah.
Look, if you need me to come babysit your register so you can go fuck your mentor, sure.
Oh wait, he's your mentor? Is he teaching you the way?
Was the mentor.
Teaching her something.
Was.
She's moved past it. She's Teddy just keeps glancing at Cassie and smiling. I miss you so much, Cassie.
Listen, Helena, no one's passing judgment. Eternity's a long time to spend alone.
I just like to be friends.
With a guy who can literally make your blood boil.
With Hayden.
I'm sure he makes her blood boil.
Oh, guaranteed.
Okay,
He's a
what's
good-
this? When is sun up? Can I just lay here at sun up?
He's a good-looking fella. It's okay. It's
He's
okay.
attractive, yeah.
I think he's lucky to have you. You're very beautiful, Helena.
You are a
Cassie, that
precious
was beautiful.
angel. Precious angel. One moment. I think Helena will go over to the BMW and she'll indicate for him to roll the window down.
he'll roll it down like this much. Go, God damn it, what's going on?
How much to stake me in the heart?
I don't know. Do you still have it?
Fuck you. That wasn't funny.
Are they giving you a hard time?
Yes.
Are your friends ragging on you?
Yes.
Or should I go over there and kill one of them?
No. I want you to kill me. How did they find out?
How did they find out? What? How did they find out what?
That they know that we're fucking.
Everyone knows we're fucking. My regent knows we're fucking.
How does your regent know that we're fucking?
I don't know. Everyone knows.
Why does everybody know?
I don't know. People just know shit.
I didn't want anybody to know.
Hey. While they're focused on the fact that, we're knocking boots, they're not focused on the fact that you're a follower of Seth.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, that's why I said it's sotto voce.
Teddy knows.
Teddy looks at Cassie. Do they always argue like this? Is this like a normal thing?
I think it's like a build-up thing,
Oh.
Foreplay.
Okay, so Teddy knows. She's the only one who knows. I had to tell somebody.
The window rolls up.
Are you still coming over later? Yeah. Okay. And she just walks back to the rest of the group.
Like the walk of shame almost.
Productive conversation.
Fuck you.
The tension is almost palpable.
Mm-hmm.
Sexual.
Indeed it is. But I think the prince is ready to see you now, says Alex Mason, the sheriff.
Thank God.
Well,
Would you like to follow me?
Yes. Finally.
I'll make sure to let the prince know that she has been taking up much of your valuable time.
Nope. No need to do that. That is not necessary. We're happy to see the prince, actually, and we're stoked. So there's that.
Super
That's
stoked.
what I thought. Now remember, when you meet her, you have to curtsy. Then you have to move forward 3 steps, curtsy again.
Are you lying?
Let's go. Yes, I'm lying. You don't have to do anything. Just, be polite.
Okay.
I can do that.
Yep.
You'll follow. Sorry, go ahead.
remember, Cassie, this is when we exercise the inside thoughts, not the outside thoughts part.
So I don't talk about Helena fucking her mentor.
No, we're not bringing that up. No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's not my
What are you doing here?
What am
Why
I?
are you here?
We'll find out.
You are taken inside. You go around to the side. There's like a little elevator that takes you up to the third floor. When you get there on the third floor, there's an area that's got like a bunch of tables, big white work lights coming in, but it's kind of quiet here. There's no one really working. There are a bunch of plans and papers and stuff sort of laid out on the table. There's a little MP3 player with speakers that is currently playing classical music that you can't hear because of all the other stuff that's going on outside. At the table, engaged in conversation, are a few people. The first one that you notice immediately is Prince Calderon. She is a Hispanic woman, very striking, long black hair, always dresses in green with these kind of old-fashioned, simple green dresses. She just has this incredible presence that, as you see her, it's supernatural. Like you look at her with this awe in your mind. She feels like she's just this ball of power and of majesty that is kind of standing before you, and it's very difficult to disrespect her or speak badly to her and so on and so forth. And this is very advanced presence power for game purposes. Alongside her is the person you recognize as the Torrid or Primogen, Elijah, who is very much involved in, obviously, the arts and entertainment sector of the city, but made most of his sort of influence and whatnot in the film industry mostly. So he's controls most of that aspect in town. Also stuff like cabaret shows and things of that nature. So he's very much involved in the business side of art promotion and whatnot in the city. I will say that, like I said, you've met the prince once when you were welcomed into the city or recognized. You might have seen Elijah around. You would have been there when you got recognized, but again, these are not people that, it's like meeting the president and then the vice president. You're like, the fuck are these people doing here kind of thing. As you approach, the sheriff will step up and go, Prince Calderon, the young ones you requested have arrived. They've been very well behaved, and as far as I know, none of them have been reticent to come and see you tonight. And she says something to Elijah in Spanish. I don't know if any of you speak Spanish. Do any of you speak Spanish? You speak Spanish. She says, let me handle this first, and don't say anything kind of thing. She turns to you as you approach, and she always has that kind of look of, the CEO that kind of, anyone that comes up to the CEO is like, a lackey that is interrupting something important. She always has kind of a bit of that attitude as you approach. She's like, thank you for making the time to come here tonight. I'm sure you all had very important things to do. I'm not interested in wasting too much time. There's a lot of work here to be done. However, I have a little bit of a conundrum, and I was hoping you could help me with it. A couple of nights ago, and, well, I guess I should perhaps say that, first of all, that I'm being told you've been doing well and have adjusted well to life among us, so it was not a mistake to keep you around, so congratulations on that. A couple of nights ago, there was a kindred, someone from outside the city, who was intercepted by the Scourge. This kindred had been on our radar for a while, someone who came and went through the city without seeking acknowledgement and seemed to be up to some rather shady business. The Scourge finally managed to catch him. He was breaking into an abandoned post office in the back of the yards in New City. So that is not where your abandoned post office is when she says that, but I'm sure that as young kindred still, and none of you, I believe, are really that much into the history of our kind. What I'm about to say may not mean much, but as you now know, of course, there are several bloodlines that tell us a little bit about who we are and how we behave, and that these bloodlines, which we call often clans, are grouped together because that is how a family functions. Beyond the clans that you've been taught about, the clans of the Camarilla, there are other bloodlines that exist in this world. There are some that are very nefarious, some that are, in fact, downright evil. Whether we are talking about the Assamites or the followers of Set, for example, we are talking about bloodlines that are corrupt and evil and seek only to do wrong to others. There's, of course, the Sabbat also, wild animals who seek only to gorge themselves on the blood of their kind. But beyond even these dark individuals, there are other bloodlines, more ancient in some cases, that are twisted, perverse, truly evil in the real sense of the world. One of these bloodlines is called Bali. This kindred that was taken a few nights ago was of this bloodline. The Tremiers confirmed it for us. That in itself is upsetting and cause for concern. That a Bali would be running around freely in Chicago, up to something. We don't know what yet. But what was most concerning was that this Bali, when he was taken, was carrying on him a piece of bark from a tree. Along with this piece of bark, he was carrying a book of matches, inside of which were written names. Very specifically, your names. Now she says this, she takes a piece of paper from the table and holds it out to you. When you take it, you see that scribbled in a very tight, kind of shaky hand are the following words. There are 4 lines. The first line has a word you might not recognize. It says Unguis. And then it has the names Carter and Theodora written next to it. Beneath that is the word Luna, and next to it are the names Archibald and Cassidy. Which, did I mess up your name again, Cassie? Okay.
Oh, you got it right this time.
Beneath that are 2 more words, Oculus and Palma, and then 2 names, Vincent and Lydia. And beneath that is the word Serpents. And next to it, 2 names, Helena and Francis. The Bali was also carrying this, and she'll show you and hand you a piece of bark. On this piece of bark are etched symbols. One of the symbols is a moon. One is what appears to be a wolf's claw, perhaps. Another is a hand with a bleeding eye set in the center of it. And another one is a serpent. I was hoping you could help shed some light on this matter.
I don't know who Archibald is.
I don't know who Francis is. But, Prince, you know that our origins were nefarious at best. And I could only imagine that the Sabbat are displeased that we have been recognized by the Camarilla.
I believe that even more so than the Camarilla, the Sabbat despised the Bali. I do not think that this individual was a member of that sect. But he did have a piece of paper with your name on it. And your name, and your name, and your name. And so you'll understand if I'm a little concerned.
Teddy's gonna take the piece of bark and hold it to her nose and inhale the scent of it.
You get a lot. You get the scent of the wood. It's one you don't recognize. You get a smell of sand, of blood emanating from it, but you don't recognize the bark.
Carter, I know that name. A friend of mine told me that name about 5 years ago. Do you know that name? Right.
You'll be interested to know that your sire was in town not but 2 days ago.
Oh, really? The fuck is he doing here?
Another voice answers you. Coming from the shadow, you see a man step out of the shadows. He's wearing a very simple tunic and a brown sort of kaftan cloak that wraps around him. And as he steps out, he says, "We're not sure yet what he was doing here, but we intercepted him and a pack of his." You see the Nosferatu Primogen, called Prudence, who is generally seen as a voice of reason and kind of a peacemaker among the kindred in the city. He is a very distinguished looking man, the way he appears here, with dark skin, dark beard that is all these ringlets. And he steps forward. He's wearing sandals and, like I said, these loose fitting pants and this sort of weird wrap around him. The Scourge of the city managed to ambush the Sabbat pack 2 nights ago. We took one. The others managed to escape. Batista's out now looking for them. But one of these people was Carter, which we have confirmed by visual sighting of someone who knows him. We don't know yet who the others were.
The other names on this list, do you know them? She looks from the prince to Prudence.
We do not. it is interesting to note that there are 4 names that are yours, and that there are 4 other names that we don't know, one of which is a Sabbat member, and that the pack the Sabbat ran with a few more people than that. There were 6, I believe.
And the symbols, do you know what they mean?
Well, they tie into the names. The word unguis means claw in Latin. The word luna means moon. The word oculus means eye, and the word palma means palm, and of course serpents. You don't need me to translate for you.
The person you got it from, who are they?
Unclear at this point. We do know that they were Bali, but we don't know who their associates were, if there are more of them in the city. The prince says, that is a very good question that we will be endeavoring to answer very, very quickly. I can assure you, a nest of Bali in the sea is not something we can tolerate. However, the fact remains that your names are on this list, and that at least one of you is tied to one of the other names, you, Theodora, and Carter. So there must be some sort of connection.
Tied.
I'm sorry?
Makes me think the others are tied.
Mm-hmm.
Minor question. This Bali that you got this information from, is there anything left of him?
She looks over at the sheriff. He's like, we could probably scrape something off the floor.
I mean, a finger, a toe, half an ounce of ash, a tooth. Just...
Maybe we could probably manage something.
It would further help the investigation if I could be provided such things.
Well, I think currently the most important thing to notice is that we just got a raid from Live from the Apocalypse. Thank you very much, Live from the Apocalypse, for the raid. Thank you for coming in, AJD. Hope everyone's doing fine. Hope you had a great game tonight. Thank you for dropping in. We are doing some vampire shit up in this house. We can probably find enough for you to do something with it. I mean, I'm not too sure exactly how your thing works, but this is the sheriff talking. I'm sure we could probably get you something.
It's spooky shit. Don't worry about it.
Real spooky.
As
Teddy does like a double take at Cassie. What the fuck are you talking about?
She does like this to Teddy.
Caven's on the line. Something else also, as the matchbook where names are written is being passed around, you will see that it has a very simple cover. The entire matchbook is this kind of really dark blue, almost black. And there are a couple of symbols on the front in gold. And the image will pop up here in a second.
Mean? What is that? What's that symbol?
It's a club.
It's the Seven Sisters.
You know.
It's, yeah, it's feel good time for those who got their wires crossed.
It's an S&M club, Cassie.
Oh. Where is it?
Around.
Maybe we should ask around there.
I think that could probably be arranged.
I like your initiative, Cassie, says the prince. In fact, I think you should all do that. There's something here that connects to you, all 4 of you. And while it is clear that we must put some efforts into rooting out whatever other nest of Bali may be in the sea, because usually where there's one Bali, there are several. But I think that as a show of good faith, as a show of your continued loyalty to the Camarilla, I think you should take a few nights to take a look into this matter and see how you may be connected to it. And bring me back any information that you find. You can't keep these things, but we will give you copies of the various symbols and the names as they are written. We know that the Bali was trying to break into an abandoned post office somewhere in back of the yards in New City. You have this matchbook. I suggest you start taking a look at things. And I suggest that by this time next week, you bring me some answers. I should stress, satisfying answers. In the meantime, feel free to call upon the expertise and help of our sheriff, Mr. Mason. This is sort of what he does. But I would expect to have some answers. I think it would be best for everyone if you manage to do that. Thank you very much. She turns around with the turret of Primogen and goes back to what she was doing. The Nosferatu Primogen comes over. I'm very sorry, my friends. This appears to be quite a pickle you find yourselves in. Of course, if Clan Nosferatu can help in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We will be happy to help with whatever we can. The one thing I can tell you, and I'm not sure that it would be of any help really, but it might be of interest to you, is that this piece of bark comes from a tree called the Judas Tree. It is usually found in the Middle East, in Turkey, and was very prevalent and very much a symbol of the city of Constantinople back when Constantinople was Constantinople. And not Istanbul. But that's nobody's business but the Turks.
Thank you.
If there's anything we can do, reach out. He turns and goes back to the prince. Sheriff's like, let's go.
Teddy is still standing there, kind of lost in thought and staring now at the back of the prince. And as the sheriff comes up, she very loudly clears her throat.
She looks over her shoulder. Yes?
It's okay that I'm here, right? Thought I would ask permission since I'm here and all.
Yes, it's fine. Welcome back to the city, Teddy. We missed you.
Thank you. Just one more question before I leave, if that's okay with you.
She puts down what she was doing. She turns around. By all means.
That fuckhead Carter, is he still here?
She looks over at Prudence. Prudence says, as far as we can tell, the pack of Sabbat after the ambush went underground. We've not been able to track them since, but we are working on it. We do have some very good people on this, many members of your own clan, Miss Theodora, and of course, Baptiste himself, and a friend of yours, I believe, Mr. Lee. He was the one who told us about the pack, that they were coming and who they were. He seemed to know a lot about this particular individual, Carter, and this particular pack and their comings and goings. It was very useful to us.
Convenient.
Yes, very much so. We did manage to kill one of theirs. The others.
Any of him left?
He appeared to have been a fairly old individual and turned to ash upon his death.
Shame.
Unfortunately, we don't always factor in your clan when these things occur. We're not that quite used yet to having you be so cooperative. But we appreciate it.
Giovanni is every ounce cooperative to this city.
Well, you can start by helping us with the remains of this body. I believe Sheriff Mason can find you enough to work with. Anything else I can do for you, says the prince.
Teddy kind of looks to the group. I think we're all good here. Thank you very much for your time. Hopefully we can get this sorted.
Hopefully. She goes back to her things. You are escorted back down by the sheriff, who will lead you outside the gates and will say, he'll hand out some cards, just a phone number on it. That's my number. You can reach me there, prefer text to phone. But, you do what you gotta do. If you got any questions, you need any help, anything going on, give me a text and I'll see what I can do for you. He points to Teddy and Cassie. I'm assuming the two of you can sort out getting back home with your friends here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thanks for the ride.
No problem. Final word of caution. I know you may not know a lot about the Bali and so on and so forth, but they are extremely dangerous. Their blood is virulent and will poison you, so make sure not to drink any of it, and if you see one, kill it before it starts talking to you. It's usually the safest bet.
I don't suspect any of us are going to go around eating other people. It'll be all right.
I would certainly hope not. This is a Camarilla city, after all, and that is the most horrendous of crimes, as I'm sure you're well aware of, Mr. Giovanni.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's how we got started, but, here we are.
Well, I always say the same thing. You never judge someone by their origin. You give everyone a fair shake.
Exactly.
Well, you got my number. He gets in his car. He takes off. And the four of you are left standing there on the side of the street.
Do you ladies want to go back to the shop? Maybe do some catching up?
All right, Vincent, are you leaving?
I mean, I was going to invite the three out to get a nice cannoli, but, if y'all going to go have girl talk, then go have girl talk.
You can come, Vincent, if you want, but you have to behave, and you can't pee on the floor this time.
I didn't pee on the floor last time. What are you talking about?
Sure you didn't.
That was your damn snake.
Gil would
Helena,
never
do you have
that.
people peeing on the floor in your shop?
Yeah, Vincent.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this again, Helena. I told you no. I'm interested in Cassie. That's it, okay? Let it go. Let it go. You've got your Tremere friend. It's okay.
What's going on?
Stop pissing on my floor.
Stop.
Anyway.
Bleak, would Teddy know where to find Lee?
You would know where you could have found him before.
Yeah.
You would certainly know where to find Nora. You really don't think Nora's ever going to move.
Yeah.
You could also go and check where Teddy used to hang. Like, I'm sure you would know where his apartment used to be. Whether or not he's still there.
Right. I think I need to go check in with someone.
Yeah. What do you think?
I meet up with you guys tomorrow, if that's okay.
Do you need any money, or you want a phone or something? I can work on that.
Yeah, maybe like a little burner situation wouldn't be so bad. Just
There
in
you go.
case.
Uncanny.
It's a
She
burner
liked
phone. It's a Cricket. It's got like 500 minutes on it. It'll only work inside the city, and it's got this cool little pay touch thing. All the kids are doing it these days. It's got about $500 on it. That should set you up fine. If you hit *71, that'll get a hold of Mickey. If you need a ride anywhere, preferably before dawn, he'll get you straight, get you to a safe place, no problems.
Mickey.
Why do you just have burner phones in your pocket?
He just smiles. It's a family business.
Right.
That's
And
questions.
asking about pieces of the body, this doesn't tie into why you smell the way you smell.
Oh, well, do you want me to be straightforward with you? Because yes, exactly, like Cassie says, it's a little spooky.
Yeah, please fucking explain to me what the hell is going on.
Well, so to put it quite bluntly, you can turn into a dog. I can see and talk to dead people.
Ghosts. But not me.
She's real. We've confirmed that.
You wouldn't know that I can turn into a dog.
No, well, he knows.
You know that I could probably talk to the dog.
Yeah, like
because I know your shit now.
he looks at you like, yeah, you probably turn into a fucking dog. But he's just like, as long as I have a little piece of them, a little chunk of them, I can pull them back from across the shroud, and I can find them.
Interesting.
Got a lost loved one you want to say hello to?
No, I don't. She's gonna glance back at Helena, work on getting me a phone. She looks down at your hand.
Yeah.
Thanks for the offer, Vincent.
Good to know. He literally tucks it in his, like, when you see him like open his coat and tuck it in, there's like 3 of them in there.
Just when you're done with what you're doing, just come by the shop, ring the bell. If you need anything. I'm gonna head home. Cass, are you going home?
Yeah. I have to make sure Prince is okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool.
Teddy's gonna grab Cassie and just squeeze her.
Like that?
Yes, like
Like in an orange press.
Yeah.
Cassie's gonna maintain eye contact with you, like the uncomfortable amount of eye contact, and just nod.
I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay. Be careful.
All right. Of course.
She gonna be all right.
She's fine. She's good.
She's very capable.
Cass, get home safe. Let me know when you
Okay.
get home.
I'll text you.
Okay.
It's me on the phone though this time, not Teddy.
Okay. Good to know. Thanks. I think Helena will sort of like back up a little bit, a few paces, and like give like an awkward wave to Vincent, and then turn around and get back into the car with Hayden.
He just does that. He points at his eye and then points at you.
Please don't do that. I don't like that.
Can you not provoke my friends?
I'm not trying to provoke your friends. They're the ones who decided to have a pissing contest just for me showing up. I was
You
here
keep
saying
peeing in Helena's store. She doesn't.
I'm not peeing in her store. I'm here to tell you right now that that would be disrespectful to piss in her store.
And who's peeing in her store?
I don't know. Have you seen the people she lets in there?
The goth kids are weird.
Exactly.
It's actually
She
Helena
also
peeing
doesn't-
in the store.
I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. So this is what that was Teddy. That's Teddy.
Yeah, it's Teddy. She
Jesus.
looks a little bit different. She's the same though.
Like, I get some people have a chip on the shoulder, but like she's got a fucking boulder.
I mean, wouldn't you have a boulder if you were ripped from the life that you knew by someone who didn't give a shit?
Yeah, I would know.
So you get it.
Yeah, but at the same time, eternity is a long time to hate.
Yeah, but we've only been in eternity for like 5 years now.
Eesh. Well, Come on, kid. How's this fucking thing work again?
Star 71.
No, not wrong. That's the other phone, not this one.
Star 67.
You know, actually, I think it is star 67. Hang on.
Star 69.
Will you stop?
369. Damn, she's fine.
Skeet. Let's go.
Motherfucker.
One more time.
He calls up one. He literally calls up one of the other guys to come get him. Essentially.
You do that. As you finish the call, you ask for someone to come pick you up. You lower the phone. When you look up, Cassie, you are staring right over his shoulder on the wall of the building that you were just in behind you. You can see there's like one wall that is still kind of partially standing. On it, you can see the outline of what used to be an old spray painted maze. And as you're looking at it, there's a worker that comes by and starts dismantling the wall with a sledgehammer. And you're staring and you're looking at that. Vincent, as you are looking at Cassie staring at this thing, she's looking over at some guy working on the building behind you. You hear in your ear, just behind you, you hear a voice that says, "She's mine." And as you hear that voice, Cassie turns towards you and you see her mouth open and her eyes open, and this light starts coming out of her mouth and her eyes, and it's shining down and it's sunlight, and your skin, no, you have a moment of panic, but nothing happens. Cassie's just looking at you, blinking her eyes.
Oh, this is gonna get real interesting real fast.
What happened?
Somebody else seems to think that they've laid claim to you, my dear. That's all. Do you owe somebody?
That's a really broad question to ask. I owed the University of Chicago quite a bit of money, actually.
That's like he puts both his hands like on either side of her shoulders. That's not what I mean. Listen, we've been back and forth for a little while now. And I've grown quite fond of you, and I give a shit about you, which says something. But there's still a lot about you I don't know. And dissident whispers in my ear laying claim to you is not necessarily one thing that I'm too keen on hearing again. So I ask you, have you made any deals?
Not recently.
How long ago are we talking? And I'm not talking about pogs.
I don't think it was a deal so much. Just exchange of information. 5 years ago?
We're not talking about like schooling here, right?
No.
What
I
are
already
we
told
talking
you I owe a lot to the University of Chicago.
I know.
Financial aid only covers so much.
I'm aware, and we will get that taken care of. That's not a problem. I understand living debt-free is a wonderful thing, but I'm talking elsewise. Have you agreed to anything that...
Have I ever told you about Edgewater Hospital?
The place that they built condos on?
Uh-huh.
You know, Vincent, that place is haunted as fuck.
Yeah, like...
There are things there like... Basically, the family said, don't go there.
The
Don't mess with
Shrouds...
them.
The Shrouds were a week there. What about it?
I met kindred like me there.
Like you? Like me like you? Or like you like you?
Like me.
Okay, so you met a few other loons. What happened?
Nicola doesn't want me to talk about them.
Who the fuck is Nicola?
My mentor.
How about we go get a nice cannoli, and we're gonna have a
Do
little
like
talk.
a cannoli.
I know. Let's go get a cannoli, and we're gonna have a nice long talk, because I'm very worried about you at this point.
I'm sure it'll buff out. Everything will be fine.
You know,
You hear Cassie in your ear. I'm very worried about you too. So am I.
Cassie
So am I.
looks over at
I'm worried also. I'm very worried about you, Cassie. I'm worried, Cassie. Cassie, we're all very worried about you. Cassie, won't you come home? Cassie, we're all worried about you. And there's like cacophony
you
of
don't-
voices.
Cassie at that point covers her ears and drops to the floor in like the fetal position.
what
No,
the fuck?
it's fine. No, it's fine. You don't have to worry. I'm fine. I'm fine. Why? No.
What the fuck?
Meanwhile, Helena, you were heading back to the store?
Yeah.
As you're driving with Aiden, he says, well,
Well, it seems like somebody is not too keen on the four of us existing.
okay.
And
Do I have to buy a vowel here, or what's the...
more so importantly, somebody knows what I am.
The prince knows who you are.
What I am?
Yeah.
I don't like that, Hayden.
Like what?
I feel weird about it. But forget about that. Some Bali at our names.
When you say that, his fucking eyes go like that. He's like, say that again?
A Bali, Hayden.
You've never seen him sweat before. He's sweating now.
How fucked am I? How fucked are my friends?
A girl? I don't think they have a word for that.
Well, it knows who we are. It has some names attached to us. Symbols.
You remember all of it?
Yeah. Carrying a matchbook, though, that comes from 7S.
Yes. Tell me the names, draw me the symbols. And I think you need to call your sire and make sure that she's not involved in any of this, because when it comes to Bali, it's fucking scorched earth policy.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Teddy, where were you heading?
I think she would try to go to Lee's place first to see if he's there, and if not, she would probably go over to Nora's.
You get to Lee's place. He lives in a, he's got like a small sort of townhouse kind of situation, like on the edges of the city near where there's like a park area. You know that he's more of a, he talked to you a little bit about the fact that there are gangrel that are, considered city gangrel that are more at ease in the city, which he and Nora are, as opposed to the type of gangrel that you are. So he was very comfortable in the city. He had this little townhouse near one of the parks. You go there, and the first thing you see is that his truck's still there. He's got a nice truck, but his car rather is there. When you climb the steps to the front of the house, the lights are off. There's no lights anywhere going on. What would you like to do?
So I want to make note that she would have transformed into the coyote as soon as she got far away enough from the group. I don't think she's ready for Helena or Cass to see that side of her. And when she shows up to the house, the townhouse, she's very much so still in this form. And she's going to go up to the front door and like claw at it.
You claw at the front door. Eventually you hear movement inside. And you hear shuffling and whatnot, and then you hear someone moving, and it's kind of like they're pulling their leg or something, like they're wounded. And the door opens, and it's a man you don't recognize, that you've never seen before. He's wearing like biker leathers. He's kind of balding. He's got a long beard. He's got a lot of piercings and tattoos. He looks banged up, like he got into a bad fight. He opens the door and goes, "Holy fuck."
Does he smell like Kindred?
Yeah.
She kind of like hunkers down and growls at him a little bit.
That's fucking cute. Boy, you got your fucking father's blood in you. Ain't no fucking denying that. How about
Does he
you?
look familiar? No.
Well, does he look familiar? No, not really. You here looking for Lee?
She nods.
It's funny, so am I. My name's Birdsong. You want to step in and wait together?
She starts padding backwards. And once she gets like, if he lets her do this, as soon as she gets a distance away enough, she's gonna take off running and head to Nora's if she can.
You head off. He doesn't follow you or say anything. You look pretty banged up, so you get the feeling he didn't want to get into any sort of tussle or anything like that. You run. Do you change at any point, or?
No. I stay in this form.
So you run, heading back to the city, heading back to the place that had always been a place of comfort for you, Nora's house, with all the stray dogs and the stray cats and the stray everything that kind of hang out there. And you hope to hell that when you get there, she's going to be there waiting for you.
Yeah.
And on that note, my friends.
Fuck you, Bleak.
On that note, we will end tonight's little session of Vampire.